Hi, it's Joe Remax coming to you from Bangkok. Today I'd like to talk to you about details of buying property in Thailand. Specifically, as a foreigner, what I wanted to talk about today was getting funding and the financial aspects of the transaction. When you buy property in Thailand as a foreigner, you're allowed to buy condos and such under foreign quota. One of the requirements is that 100% of the funds used to buy your condo or your property comes from overseas. So this must be proven to the land department when the transfer takes place. We'll talk about financing and we'll talk about moving funds around. So when it comes to financing in Thailand, it's not easy as a foreigner. Really, it's quite difficult. There are some banks that will lend to foreigners, but normally require that they're working here. Some people manage to get financing back home, so you take a loan against your current property. That works quite well, and the interest rates in Thailand are almost double that most other countries. They're around 7 to 8% plus other service charges. So when you compare that to mortgage rates of 3% in other countries, it may be a very good decision to leverage any current asset you have and take a second mortgage or refinance and use that money against a property in Thailand. The other part of the transaction I want to talk about is when you move money, what has to happen? How do we prove to the land department that the money came from overseas? But you have to transfer 100% of the purchase price into Thailand, into a Thai bank in Thai baht. So it must be done in baht currency, must be moved to a Thai bank. The sender or the receiver must be the name on the deed. For example, you could send your money to me as a broker, and as long as the sender is you and the deed says you're the one buying it, that's fine. But we can't have a disconnect. You can't see the sender is your uncle and I receive it. It doesn't work. If you have a bank account in Thailand, no problem. You transfer it to your own bank account. You cut your cashier's checks against that for the actual transaction. Works perfectly fine. There's a document that you need to get, and some people will tell you that you need to get an FET. The actual law is indeed, if the amount is over 50,000 US, you require an FET, which is a foreign exchange transaction document from the bank, which is a government document. It's very official and takes a little bit of time to acquire. So do allow enough time to get the documents from the bank when you're planning your whole purchase process. If the amount is below 50,000, you can use another document called a credit advice. The bank branch can issue that, and the land department is quite willing to accept that. The trick here is that in practice, the land department will accept a credit advice no matter what the amount is. So 90% of the time, unless you have a really special case, the credit advice will do. So that's what I wanted to cover today, just give you a little lowdown on moving the money around. So sum it up, you should have the money in cash somehow from overseas. You transfer it in, must be transferred in as Thai baht. The land department will want to see a document from the bank that specifies that you transferred in the full amount of the purchase price. While the law requires an FET for anything over 50,000 US, in practice the land department will accept the credit advice for any amount. Also have your agent check before you show up at the land department and be disappointed that you have to come back later, the documents are not in place. A good agent will check that all your documents are all well prepared. They will check before you even go. Thank you for watching. I hope this sheds a little light onto the financial aspects of buying a condo in Thailand. Thank you very much. This is Gerald, also known as Joe Remax, signing out. See you next week.